I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues. I have rosin in me pocket for me bow. And the fiddle strings are new, and I've learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble, I must go. There's a mystic wintry breeze blowing through the budding trees, and I bundle up my coat to keep me warm. But the days are on the mend, and I'm on the road again, with me fiddle snuggled close beneath me arm. I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues. I have rosin in me pocket for me bow. And the fiddle strings are new, and I've learned a tune or two, so I'm well prepared to ramble, I must go. I'm as happy as a king as I catch a breath of spring, and the grass is turning green as winter ends. And the geese are on the wing, and the thrushes start to sing, and I'm heading down the road to see me friends. I've a fine felt hat and a strong pair of brogues. I have rosin in me pocket for me bow.
That was just a song called Rambles of Spring from the band Sons of the River, consisting of Charlie Stymus on vocals, Clarence Cummo on bass, Jordan Carson on the mandolin, Wally Jimmo on the accordion. It's a really nice album that they did, Irish inspired, of course. And we played a song of theirs before, but you know, I'm looking at a beaver lodge right there. I'm out in Weyerton, which is towards the north of the Miramichi city. And I was just checking out the river for canoeing. I want to do a little canoe run before I head back to Vancouver. Look how pretty that looks, folks. We're looking at Beaubears Island right there, that line of trees. And then those homes over there are in a, you know, an area, let's call it a borough of the Miramichi called Nelson. The ice is flowing out. It's a calm day, and it's really beautiful as the Miramichi gets ready for a solar eclipse in a few hours. Should be fun to take that in.
Geez, I don't know what's going on here with Pioneer Days during the Pioneer.
Yeah.
Popular place for sightseeing is during Pioneer. We never finished the days.
Okay.
So I don't know. We never had any Pioneer Days.
Yeah, well, we just figured it out.
No,
and
it may be in there someplace else.
Well, there it is, folks. I just pressed record. It's good to have this you know, Roger Cummo in action doing his business when he doesn't know he's on camera and all those things that happen. We're here once again. Are we on episode 28 or 9? Anyway, it's one of those. Welcome to Mirami-histor-chi. We're in the local historian Roger Cummo's basement once again. He has documented decades and decades and decades and decades. Is that 4 or 5? And decades of newspaper clippings, mostly local from the Miramichi Leader. What was the Miramichi paper called before that? It was the Miramichi... Before the Leader, I forget what that was called. Wow. We pulled out things. Anyway... and Raj has it all documented. We're going through it. Intergenerational nephew-uncle project. We're doing it for ourselves. We're just trying to do a positive community building project, and some of the people that are taking it in and are I am getting a lot of compliments. I'm sure there's people that are rolling their eyes and all that stuff, but that's to come with the territory. We don't proclaim to be experts. It's Roger's local his personal collection, and that's what we're doing. So Raj, I just played Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan singing "You Are My Sunshine." I thought that'd be a good one for the Eclipse Day here. And that's from a recording session from either late 60s or early 70s that wasn't really meant to go to record. They just had some fun. And it's a 3-disc compilation through the Bob Dylan bootleg series. And it's really cool with both of those guys making up lyrics throughout. And it's pretty fun. So Raj, how you doing today, my man?
Well, took a little bit of time here to get organized.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready for other things too, and getting lawn chairs and everything ready on the deck there for whatever's going to happen this afternoon.
On the eclipse.
And
Now,
everybody's worried about the clouds.
yeah, I know. I hope the clouds dissipate. Now, speaking of dissipating, I have to dissipate for 1 second right now. I got to go back over to Mom's house. I forgot something.
That work, eh?
Okay, I am back. Roger's on the phone. It's so beautiful outside. I just went to get my notebook. I had a couple of things written down, some mistakes. I was trying to think of what those games were called that Rick Hansen was in. We showed a picture of Rick Hansen, Paralympic. I just couldn't think of it. Speaking of Rick Hansen, in that photo we showed him with George Matheson. I actually ran into George Matheson's son's best friend at a gathering on Saturday night. It was good to catch up with him. We also mentioned that we weren't going to do a part 3 of 1986. We're going to move on. That was a big lie. We're doing a part 3 right now. What else here? Another correction. I was trying to think of like the salmon, I think it's called the Salmon Conservatory or the Salmon Conservation Center or something in Boys Town. I couldn't think of that. Also, Terry Fox ended his run in Thunder Bay, not Windsor. I just thought of that. Another note I had, Roger, remember the mayor of Newcastle? Is it Cregan or Crehan? Do you remember?
John Crean.
Crean, okay. I think I was saying it right.
Yeah.
I just had a note here. I was like, I hope I wasn't mispronouncing that. And then, the word literally, I keep thinking, but I was watching March Madness the other day, and a young reporter, she actually said that one of the teams was literally a Swiss Army knife. Well, that just tells me that, that word is being hijacked. We can't let that word be taken from us. We literally already means something. And I think that's it. And then, the power was out here in Logieville during the storm. I was lucky. My father had it all set up for a generator, but Raj and I went over to check, especially Raj, but I went with him. We went over to check on a neighbor of ours.
Oxygen.
Yeah, he's on oxygen, so we went over and checked in. So it was kind of, there's many people that were kind of put out when the power does go out. Yeah. But it's just, it's once again, Raj, helping neighbors out. It's what Miramichiers do. And you always taught me that, so we just did that. And we also checked in on a younger neighbor of ours too. She lives here on her own, so we just wanted to make sure that she was okay. So anyway, it wasn't real freezing cold anyway, so everybody was able to kind of, yeah. Okay, we're in 86 part 3, Raj. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, well, we got to mention about what the day is today. It's a big special day that we've been waiting for. Mm-hmm. You can take it from there.
Well, the solar eclipse. So I haven't really been looking into anything of detail. Yeah. However, I don't miss these sorts of things when they do come. It's an amazing thing. We're in a part of the world that we're going to see the full eclipse, and Miramichi, like, I was up in town today, Raj. There's a bit of, you can tell there's people that are not from the Miramichi walking around town today. At coffee shops, you saw lots of people that have come here to watch the eclipse. So we have one of the best places in the world to see this. Yeah. I was lucky enough to see a partial eclipse when I was driving through America in October. I caught it in Idaho. Mm-hmm. At a place called Twin Falls, Idaho. What a gorgeous town that was. So anyway, I can't remember the last time I witnessed I saw a full lunar eclipse when I was at UNB, but solar. So hope, we got to protect our eyes. And we'll see what happens. So hopefully, I was just out there. The clouds do look dissipated. Roger's having a great big solar eclipse party tonight, so we gotta pump this out before his guests start to arrive.
And the amount of guests I have is 2.
3.
Tyree. Okay, we have a little different presentation today. We're going to be demonstrating full pages.
Oh, right on.
But a lot of small pieces too also, but the full pages will dominate. And we're going to start off with 2 careers that were had back in '86, and one career is still dominating quite a bit strong today. So we're going to start off with this guy right here that played a big part with the newspaper Miramichi Leader.
Okay. So, like, again, this is 16 inches, and I think the modern day are 12 or
12 and a half.
12 and a half inches.
Today,
So it was,
yeah.
So Roger made his boxes to fit these. So in the Miramichi Leader times, Bill Hogan. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to see if we got. So Bill Hogan was an artist, and then this is called. They called it Artoons instead of cartoons, and so Bill Hogan was a local Miramichier that was doing a lot of the artwork through the newspapers over the years, and it's
with Paul Dawson down here.
okay, and it's kind of an art form that, you know, there's still many great artists out there, of course, but the newspaper artists not only had to have a good pen, but a lot of them were writing their own captions and creating these things, and it was a very good way to to poke fun at and to connect people as well. So what do we have here? World Hunger. I think I'll place this here. Is this
That's awesome, yeah.
Okay, so there's one of his, and I'm not going to be able to know the context of that. There's a cartoon of Mr. Paul Dawson, prominent Miramichier, and the caption on that one reads, I think I'll place this here, Chatham, ready, aim. So there was a Douglastown boat, so there must have been something going on with, I don't know if it's a ferry, a bridge operation. Somebody out there will make sure that they let me know what that means, I am sure. I thought raft. Oh, maybe it was about the raft, the Miramichi the Great Miramichi Raft Race.
Well, he's sitting in water there.
He's sitting in water.
Yeah, he might have fell off the raft. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. And like, what's another one? Me, Tarzan. Here's something right here. He has one about world hunger, and this is Bill Hogan, and it just says, and the maestro plays on. So it's kind of like some things never change. So really cool, Raj.
Okay, you're going to turn them up.
I'll turn those upside
Look at
down.
the size of those sheets, eh?
Yeah. No.
Now
It's,
here's a very, very prominent career here.
okay.
Nursing.
Okay. The Right Choice. Nurse Rhoda Allard of Hotel Dieu Hospital. And like I say, I received these things blind. I was only 10 years old at this time. And there's a full page that is honoring this nurse. Her name is Rhoda Allard. And what does that say? She, okay, it says, have you ever thought about a career in nursing? Earlier this month, the Career Expo was held at James M. Hill Memorial High School on Thursday and Friday. In this article on nursing, Rhoda Allard, a registered nurse at Hotel Dieu Hospital in Chatham, shares her views of the job. The Jacket River native graduated from the Bathurst School of Nursing in 1975. In October of the same year, she began working at Hotel Dieu on the surgical floor. That was where she worked until 78, when she took a year and a half of training in psychiatry. She says, no day is the same, and you meet a tremendous number of patients and families. All I know is that what a beautiful thing to have on a front page. And when you talk about a profession such as nursing, it is the utmost of importance. My mother was a nurse. My sister is a nurse. Roger's daughter, Amanda, is a nurse. All you have to do is land yourself sick or ill. be in a hospital or in a setting and to realize the value of that position and how important of a job it is. And now here we are in 2024, and now I think we're looking for nurses again. Like, so it's a very tough profession. A lot of people, you know, you imagine giving all your energy to people that are sick all the time and how much energy that must take. So to have a good nurse is a very, very special thing, and we deserve to hold that profession to the highest of echelons. That's my humble opinion.
So back in '86, the papers were so big, and there's a lot of articles on both sides of the sheets as we'll turn them around and catch whatever we think's on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah, and even there, look at the size of this here
Ad, Jenkins.
The ad for Jenkins. There.
Okay.
It's just like these guys here.
Okay.
Don't read that there.
Okay. So here it is again. Roger went through a lot of his collection. This is a sports page from 1986. Hashi, Sorrell, Spark, James M. Hill. Some scoring leaders, it looks like. MVHS to have... It's hard for me to read that backwards. Busy week. And then there's a photo here of a team that won something, it looks like. So what are those captions? That was Dennis Hashi. He scores a second goal of the game as the James M. Hill Tommies defeat the Oromocto Blues 5-4 in Chatham on Thursday evening. I know Dennis through the softball world. He's in white right there, scoring a goal in hockey. Some scoring leaders at this time in 1986. It was January 8. Frank Wilson, Todd Underhill, Gary Forrest, Mark Dunnett, Chris Fernandes. These are the Miramichi Palamu leaders at the time. Jay Augustine, John Cann, Tim Obey, Robbie Wood, Ross Urquhart, Sean Wood, Todd Morris, David Hale, Tom Johnson, Troy Walsh, David Gray, Bert Hennessy, Kevin McAllister, Dewey Summers, Conrad Coakley, Mike Dunnett, Burton Geeky, and Miramichi Valley was in second place at the time. James M. Hill was in third. Frank Wilson again was leading that. We mentioned that I think ago. And what's this photo say, Raj? This says the Clippers win tourney, and this looks like a group of Miramichi lads that knew what it was like to drive around in a truck in 1986, have their either their kids or their buddies in the back.
And the dog.
And the dog. Okay, so the Chatham Clippers won the James Reddy Christmas floor hockey tournament last week. Kirk Goki, John Simpson, Mike Milson was the MVP, folks. I think he's the father of those Milson boys that played some high-level hockey.
And their rink in the backyard was called the Milson Center.
The Milson Center. Dusty Power was the high scorer, and Galen Augustine. We also have Kevin Ward, Mike St. Pierre, George Guinness, Bart Gorman, and Gary King. Is that Gary? That's what it says.
Yeah.
Okay. Gary King is a great guy. And I know him through softball. He was always pitching for Chatham. There's that group. I think that's Gary King right there. And Gary used to pitch, and I played a little bit of shinny hockey with him too. So right on. Good to see him. You know, the good old floor hockey folks.
So periodically we'll just fit in something small. Just
Okay.
Because these sheets are pretty heavy for hurting Jamie's arms.
Yeah. Okay, so this is some more international. This was 1986, September 15th. Everybody that's a sports fan will recognize this figure right here, and anybody that's a hunter will actually know about this man's skills. That is none other than Mr. Bo Jackson. He was out of Auburn State, and he was a kind of the first guy that brought the whole dual athlete thing into prominence. He was a football player and a baseball player. This was his first home run, and his Bo Jackson's first home run was over 500 feet long. Bo Jackson acknowledged his crowd after his first Major League home run on Sunday in Kansas City, traveled about 500 feet. There he is. He was an amazing athlete. He's an outdoorsman. He is a really excellent human being, actually. He suffered a hip injury in a football game, and he was never the same. And if you guys want to go to YouTube and check out his play from left field, the throw he made from left field to throw a guy out at home plate, if you're, I'm sure baseball fans all know this, but oh my goodness.
On
But
the
yeah,
money.
yeah, I was lucky enough to be in Kansas City in October where that was hit to watch the old ball game.
Now, Jamie, was he the first baseball player to break his bat over his head?
He could have been, Raj. I don't
They,
know.
they take
Was it
the
over
bat-
his head or over his leg? He used to break them over his
No,
leg.
Over his leg, but he's broken those bats over his head. He just took it up there and just bang on.
He was so
nothing.
strong. He was so strong.
There's nothing
And he's a
wrong.
good guy. Like, you know what, Raj? He makes his own ammunition
Yeah.
and he makes he bow and arrows and stuff
Oh,
like
you
that. He's
know
a really talented guy. He's a
Yeah.
cool guy.
So we're gonna focus on this
Okay.
group here and this group here.
Okay.
And maybe a little highlight who's scoring here.
Okay. Another full page. This is from January 8, 1986. Anybody that was around the old LBA arena would remember this brother-sister combo, the McGillivrys, doing a little figure skating there. That's Debbie and her brother Bill. They win gold, silver, and bronze medals.
Kids of Dr. McGilvery.
Yep. They're the children of Dr. Will McGilvery, Bill McGilvery up in Chatham. All 5 members of the Chatham Figure Skating Club competing in the Atlantic Divisional Figure Skating Championship here on the weekend, which was Sydney, Sydney, Nova Scotia, returned home with medals. Debbie and Billy McGilvery of Chatham won the pre-novice dance and the gold medal in the 3 dance routines. Oh, right on. Good for them. And then here, look at this photo here. This is a great looking photo right here, folks. There's a bunch of Miramichi dudes right there with a basketball in hand. What was going on right there? Who is in that photo? In that photo, we have Art Garfunkel. No, that's not Art Garfunkel. Okay, so Peter Gadd presents Tony Van Bushkirk with the championship trophy at the MVHS Alumni Basketball Tournament. The MVHS Alumni Blue defeated Harkins Alumni 59-39 in the final. And we have George Flanagan, Bruce Walker, as pre-mentioned, Van Bushkirk, and Gadd. We also have Mitchell Linkletter, Dwayne Allison, Ken Mitchell, and Larry Flanagan. And right on, lads, and here's an action photo of Frank Wilson out of the MVHS. Looks like he's scoring a goal right there. He was a top player, that's for sure. No, West All-Stars. There was a North and West All-Star game, and it was Frank Wilson, the scoring leader in high school hockey at the time. And he went on to play like some Tim Horton Leafs and stuff like that. He was really, how would I compare Frank Wilson? Of the little that I saw him, I would put him in the category of a player like, God, it's hard to, I'll think about that. I'll get back to you on that one.
Okay, here's another popular event in the Miramichi.
Okay.
And it's just whatever you think
Okay.
about horse hauling.
Right on.
Something we hear. You
Okay.
read that little paragraph there?
Okay. So here we go. Another full page. Horse hauling. Look at the work on this. The old Miramichi leader, 1986. Rogers personal collection. This is some horse hauling, another event on the Miramichi. That's like a subculture unto itself. There's all kinds of interest. This guy's name was Bun Warren. He is shown with his team of Tony and Bud. And it was in Blackville. Horse hauling is a sport that has caught on over the years. It has also changed. The first time we pulled for a package of cigarettes. That's a long time ago, Bernard Warren of Blackville says, laughing. It was where the old Scout Hall used to be in Blackville. It was a single pull. There were a lot of single pulls back then, he says. Bernard has been attending horse hauling events for 26 years. Of course, no one knows the Teamster by Bernard. They call him Bun. And when an announcer calls good haul as Bun's team pulls the load for, okay, that's cut off right there. But really cool. Bun Warren, folks, used to compete in horse hauling competitions. You heard it here at Mirami-histor-chi for a box of cigarettes.
Okay, here's a lad that works for the city.
Okay.
He plays hockey and
Okay.
stuff like that.
Okay, this is from September 24th, 1986. It says Bell receives scholarship,
Wilson
and that
Bell.
is Wilson Bell, and Raj says he works for the city. So, Wilson Bell is the son of Jack and Kay Bell of Chatham. A 1983 graduate of James M. Hill Memorial High School, is the recipient of a $1,000 scholarship from Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation. Wilson commenced his 4th year at Mount Allison University this fall, where he is majoring in geology and geography. And I wonder if he stuck with that, and that's what he's doing with the city. So right on, Raj.
Okay, this is who update on the building of the new Civic Center, and our very own Herbie not only walks, but he pumps gas.
Oh, right on.
You know, whatever you
Oh, there's Herbs.
don't have to go too long.
Okay.
There's nothing on the back.
Okay, steel's going up. College gets 20,000. Okay, we're just gonna show this. This is from January 15th. We're just gonna show a Logieveller who I saw walking several times in the past few days up the old front road in Logieville. There's the one and only Mr. Herbie Jenkins in action, 1986. The article is about the gas wars. Owners support government stepping in. Local gasoline vendors say they are in favor of regulating gas prices and putting an end to price wars at the pump. And if I was a local owner, I would understand that. You don't want to be playing that game, you know.
Now, this is a result of the front page for a transformer with,
Okay.
and Lloyd Cameron.
Okay.
Okay.
So the replacement transformer is already in place. So what do we show first? Transformer.
Front
Okay.
page, yeah.
So we have a new transformer. This is the front page of Miramichi Leader from January 15th, 1986, folks. Roger has his notes up here. There's the picture of Herbie with the gas wars. There's Mr. Lloyd Cameron. We mentioned that play that he was in. It was called The Nurse Goes to... Nurse Jane. Nurse Jane Goes to Hawaii. That was running. That Mr. Cameron, Lloyd Cameron, was involved with that, as he has been with the theater arts over many years, the late Lord Cameron. And here's a new transformer that was placed in. The transformer's already in place. The transformer still being checked. And then on the back it says transformer replaced. The old Murata Motel, folks, the legendary Chatham business, the Murata Motel, I think recently turned into little apartments, townhouse type of places. It says, transformer replaced. Above the Murata Motel sign is a new transformer. The old transformer caught fire 2 weeks ago, and it was feared oil leaked from the transformer might contain PCBs. Results of oil tested from the old transformer are expected today, and I'm sure somebody out there is going to know what those results said, and they're going to let me know.
Okay.
And
Now we're gonna. You just mentioned the play of Nurse Jane. Okay, here's an update on Nurse Jane right here.
Okay.
And you can kind of mention the race there.
Okay. Here's an update on Nurse Jane, folks. Who is that fine woman? I think everybody's going to recognize her. One of the friendliest people you will ever see around. Ladies and gentlemen, none other than Julie Hallahan. I think that's
Yeah.
Loge. Dr. Loge, yes, of course. Judy Hallahan does a dance display during the play Nurse Jane Goes to Hawaii, to be performed at the Douglastown Community Center on January 24, 25, and the 31st, and February the 1st. The play is a dinner theater production by the Logie House Players. Right on. And I just ran into Judy Loge at the grocery store, and she gave condolences about my dad. And what are you saying right here?
Well, it's just activity on the railway track.
On the railway track. Well, there's a photo from the Miramichi Leader. Some activity on our local tracks right there, folks. A picture from 1986 says, CN employee works on tracks at Newcastle. Busted rails, puzzle officials. So they didn't know why that happened. Really cool.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to just kind of show an old postcard of Dopetown.
Okay.
And this section on a play from James M. Hill.
Okay.
On the back page, we're going to have a few presentations of this guy, Gary Wood.
Okay. Okay. So Raj is sharing some front pages. So right now, this is an old picture of Main Street of Doketown. This is the 1986 edition. They were obviously traveling back in time in '86 to show this. There's the old Main Street in Doketown right now, or not right now, but right now in Roger's basement from this newspaper. But this was a picture from, let's see. This old postcard shows the east end of Main Street, Doketown in 1928. At right with a ladder against it is the first store of the Betts family. Built in 1917, it burned in 1930. And here's another production that was happening. It says Amos is back on stage after 2 years. Looks like another theater production. Here on the Miramichi, folks, what was happening in that photo? 1986. These are women of the Tomorrow Box, a Theatre New Brunswick play about the generation gap to be performed at James M. Hill Theatre on Thursday night at 8 p.m. From left, Patricia Vanstone, Janet Amos, and Diana Belshaw. Any remaining tickets may be obtained at Crean's, Newcastle, or at the door. And was Janet Amos, she was artistic director with Theatre New Brunswick, and she put her acting career aside to pursue other aspects. Is she Miramichier? Is the question. They were just playing the play at the theater. I'm not sure about that. Okay. Here we go, folks. What was happening on the back page of that right here? Donovan gets medal plaque. And that caption reads, John Crean, right. He was the mayor, presents Catherine Donovan with her Duke of Edinburgh Award, bronze medal and plaque, looking on as Gary Wood, Recreation and Parks Commission. So right on. Wonder what that was all about. Doesn't?
No.
That's okay. Okay, Raj, right on.
Now we'll sneak in a small portion of it there.
Over 5,000 people expected to hunt moose. This is a picture of a moose and two little calves right there. And anybody that knows this part of the world knows that we have a plentiful population of this rather large animal. Is the moose the largest land animal in North America? Am I correct about that, or are we talking polar bears? The moose cow and her twin calves shown here are of special interest to the Department of Natural Resources and Energy. The department, in cooperation with the University of New Brunswick, is carrying out a research project on moose. A report on the study is expected in early 87, and so they said Monday more than 5,000 hunters are expected to take part in New Brunswick's 86 moose hunting season. It's a 3-day season opens. Successful hunters will have until noon, September 28th, to register their animals. And you know what? My place in Vancouver, Raj, my neighbor Jake, he rented a little shed next to me, and he got a moose at one time in the interior, and then I didn't really know him, and then one of the first things he came over and visited and knocked on the door and was like, "Hey, do you want some moose jerky?" And I was like, "Yeah," and it was so delicious. Yeah.
So these four guys worked at the pulp mill like I did. We're all associated very closely.
Yeah.
And a little caption over here.
Okay.
And then we're going to show how big this advertisement is.
Okay. Right on. Okay. More sports stuff from the Miramichi. These are 3 pulp millers at the old repap. Roger's old co-workers, colleagues. That photo says the winning rink. We're talking curling. Gushu just lost in the final, Raj. Gary Appleby left. Chairman of the Schooner Curling Bonspiel presents the prizes to the winning rink of Roy Dickinson, Joe Dunaher, Jim Wheaton, and I think it's Dee Dee Matheson. The event was held at the Newcastle Curling Club. There's also something that says the Tommies go to 3rd place with 3 wins. And then in that year, the James M. Hill Tommies, their leading scorers were Chris Brown, he was the son of Walter, and Kelly, Craig Walker, Guy Sorrell. So at this time, after 17 games being played, Chris Brown had 34 points. Sean Stewart, T. Sweezy, Greg Carroll, Kirby Preston, Dennis Hashey. Rob McCarthy, Mike Daypre, John Bartlett, Dookie Connolly, and another McCormick, started with a T. Greg Malone goes to the Nordiques in 1986. He was traded from the Whalers to the Nordiques. And then we have a full page ad, folks, at, I forgot all about this store, Stedman's. Where was Stedman's? That was in Chatham, wasn't it?
On Water Street.
Yeah, it was on Water Street. Stedman's was a store. I remember this store. What were some of the deals here? Ladies' blouses were 40% off. Ladies' sweaters were 1/3 off. Now, I know all of the innuendo that's happening right here. You guys remember this is a family program. Nightgowns were 1/3 off. Snowsuits, 1/3 off, folks. And writing paper was 99 cents. Polyester stuffing was $1.99. And what else did we have at Stedman's in 1986? Cashmere bouquet soap, 2 for $1.50, folks. So right on. Cassette tapes, 2 for $3 at Stedman's in 1986.
So we have,
Stedman's. That was down. Is that where the dollar store is now?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There's no names here, but you know a few people.
Okay. Mr. Flieger, Paul
There's
O'Hara.
a little article where they finally moved the first place
Okay.
over Fredericton, and some little bit in the back.
Okay.
There.
So in 1986, January the 22nd, we have the 1986 executive of the Miramichi Salmon Tournament. It was held in Chatham on January the 23rd to the 26th. It opened on Thursday. So there's a picture of the Salmon Tournament executive, and I see Mr. Harold Flieger in the middle there, Mr. Paul O'Hara. I see Marjorie McLean.
Yeah.
I see Mr. Bernard Keating, Marvin McCarthy, Jim Harriman, Mike Rudder, John Lorden?
No.
No, sorry. And I don't know.
No.
Okay, so there she is, folks. Mr. Marjorie McLean right there, the wife of Paul McLean, mother of Dax and Dean, the twin boys that were a year older than me, Jason and Jeff. And I remember my mother was a child, and they used to have a cottage down by my mother's family home, Roger's wife. They were sisters. And Mom got her ear pierced, I think the first time. Had to hike up to Chatham.
Oh.
And Marjorie Young stuck a needle through Mom's ear with the old ice cubes. That woman pierced my mother's ear for the first time. So thank you, Mary. She was such a sweetheart. She is a sweetheart, isn't she?
Wow.
And Wilson's line lead scoring race. Once again, we're talking Frank Wilson, folks, leading the New Brunswick High School League in scoring. His line was Gary Forrest, Todd Underhill, and they were like 1, 2, 3 in scoring. Wow. After 18 games, Frank Wilson had 63 points. Better than a 3-point-a-game average.
Wow.
And, wow. And he was like 22 points ahead of his teammates. So he was by far and away the best player in the province.
So here's a little ad on the Wharf Inn.
Okay, the old Wharf Inn. That's the one in Newcastle, right?
Yeah, right
by the
old
Morrissey Bridge.
Yeah.
Well, that place is going strong right now, Raj.
Oh, it's
Have you
on, yeah.
Hennessy's? They're doing a good job in there for food. It used to be called the Wharf Inn. There's an ad from 1986, and I tell you what, I bet you that's a great place to watch a solar eclipse today. Let us entertain you in 1986. Peter and Mary were coming on January the 20th. They have 3,000 songs. They performed in Europe, Britain. Well, last time I looked, Britain is a part of Europe. Bermuda on the Russian cruise liner Alexander Pushkin. Don't miss Peter and Mary. And who else did we have? We had Doherty and Evans, Irish entertainment at its best, performed at the Miramichi and Right On. And we had Earl McKenna was a host and Claire McKenna. So they were obviously, I'm guessing, the owners of that place. Right On, the old Wharf Inn.
Okay, here's some winners on the salmon tournament.
Okay.
All kinds of coverage there from the local paper.
Newcastle Adam Kinsman takes salmon tournament, folks. And I will show you that winning squad right there. We will read out that roster. Who was on the Adam team in 1986? I bet you I'm going to know a few of those names. There's some action photos. The kids winning a tournament. And look at that great photo. Nothing like kids either before or after a hockey game. There's nothing like hockey, Roger, when it comes to dressing room culture.
Oh, yes.
Because of the equipment that you have to put on, the whole thing about tape. It's an amazing sport. We all know it. Okay, who was on that Adam team? Well, let's just take a gander. Aaron Tozer. As I mentioned before, his nickname was Ugly. He was so good looking, they called him Ugly. Derek McKibben, DJ Mason, Mark DeVoe, David Morrison. I think he's a teacher. He's a good hockey player and baseball player. Sneaky good, but really good. Tim Wood, Gordy Ross, Trevor Butler, and Scott Geeky with the pads on. And in the back row, Bob Hosford was the manager, Kyle O'Shea, Paul Cole, Chad Wood, Sean Laboutier, Rob Hosford, Jamie Henderson, Jeff Siliker, Darren Rao, Bradley Sobey, and Al Morrison. Jamie Henderson, also an educator, really, really excellent athlete, baseball, hockey growing up. And in that photo right here, folks, what's going on in the old dressing room? Who are these people? These are Lloyd Sutherland, attended the salmon tournament with son Andrew and Timmy Jardine with his father Daryl Jardine, formerly of Newcastle. The Sutherlands and Jardines now reside in Nakawik. So some old Miramichiers from Nakawik. Their kids were playing in the tournament. Right on. And who was on the Pee Wee Kinsmen on that time, Raj? Wade Jardine, Jason Vickers. And who was on the Chatham Pee Wee Penguins? Scott Daly, Ricky Stymus, Denny Schofield, Chris McLean, Sean Sullivan, Marty McNamara, Mike Jazwinski. Yeah, right on, Raj. Okay. Thanks for sharing.
Pretty good coverage, eh?
Pretty good coverage. Times were very different. That everybody was tuning in. And you know what? When you look at American sports, they seem to be doing something in their communities that gets the whole community watching.
So we'll get this one here.
Okay.
And we have a Napa Night in the backside.
Okay. So what do we got here? Adams Rink takes open. So this is one of the great Miramichi curling teams of all time. The Adams Rink. Look at how proud they look holding the trophy. Curling is a very special game, sport. A lot of skill, a lot of camaraderie. I really enjoy watching it myself. Joe Richor, as per mentioned. So I'm just going to go ahead and label it right now. So we got Maddie Matilda as Logieville's greatest artist. Yeah. We got Joe Richor as Miramichi's best dresser. Every picture I see of this guy, he looks sharp. Hair, perfect. Joe Richord was a sales rep at Moosehead, and he has presents Stephen Adams Rink of Dodie Dixon, Ward McDonald, and Greg Gallivan, the championship trophy in the Miramichi Open Bonspiel in Chatham on Sunday. They won the title for the third straight year. Right on. And then we have, on the back page of that, we have a beautiful photo right there. Another trophy being presented. Look how proud people look. And we're going to read those and just acknowledge who is DJ Mason of the Newcastle Kinsmen receives the MVP award in the salmon tournament from Paul Duplessis, folks, of Nappen. St. Michael's Parish, and Mason scored 3 goals and assisted on 3 more, and leading the Kinsmen 7-2 win over Chatham. What a game of his life. I'm sure, you know what, I guarantee you he still talks about that game every time. And then we have Gary Traer. Another Nappener of the Chatham Adam Penguins receives the top netminder award in the Adam division of the Miramichi Salmon Invitational, and he had a shutout. And presenting is also Paul Duplessis, Gary Traer. There he is, folks, right there. The son of Abby, Teresa, brother of Chris, husband of Pam. And I'll tell you what, Gary Traer is a top-notch human being. Everybody knows it. He was a really good ball player for the Ironmen. He could do many things. Good pitcher, played shortstop, excellent guy, and friend of the family.
Yeah. So on our next collection of the small articles, we're going to be showing Gary Wood's presentations on the next 3 small articles.
Okay.
So we'll start off with that one.
Okay. Did you play sports, or Gary? Do you have a relationship with Gary?
Just old timers hockey.
Okay.
There. We played together. We sit side by side, and
okay.
And then the city really missing him because he was involved in a lot of stuff.
Right.
He's passed away, like that.
Right, the volunteering, so important.
Oh, yeah.
Edinburgh Award to Goodfellow. There is Gary Wood, and this is Gary right here, Raj, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's him, yeah.
And there's Gary right here, the late Miramichi, the late Gary Wood, a great Miramichi. Mayor John Crean of Newcastle presents Eddie Goodfellow with his bronze medal and plaque for the Duke of Edinburgh Award. Gary Wood of the Newcastle Recreation and Parks Commission looks on. Thank you, Brian Richard, for another photo. And I don't know what these Edinburgh Awards were. We're going here. Okay.
Number full page here.
Okay.
Full sports page.
Full sports page. Palamu clinches league title. Wilson breaks points record. We spoke about this before. 85-86. We had a local boy just dominating the hockey scoring. There they are. They won it. We mentioned those several times before. They won the Tommies to host its first annual Golden Green. Right on. Mark Dunnett scores a second goal of the game in the third period as MVHS defeated Nepisiguit Nordiques on Thursday evening in Renouse. And there's a picture of the brother Mark Dunnett, one of the Dunnett brothers. His brother Mike, I actually said he's arguably the Miramichi's greatest shortstop. But look at the old lid on this kid right here from Nepisiguit, folks. That is a classic old school Jofa Swedish designed, or was Jofa Sweden or Finland? Right on. And okay, so after 22, this was in February, 22 games played, Wilson had 75 points. He was almost 30 points ahead of the number 2 guy in the league. He was playing above his, and then we have James M. Hill girls make finals.
Yep.
And Roger did some underlining here. Thanks, Raj. Roger's all getting ready for his big freaking solar eclipse party. You've done it all in your life except host a solar eclipse party. Well, that's going to change today, folks. It's happening.
Two people I'm hosting.
With 3 people are coming down.
3 people.
Okay,
Lucky the dog.
so the James M. girl team makes the finals. The James M. Hill Memorial High School girls basketball team had a rather rugged weekend. But they managed to put up a good enough show to make it into the New Brunswick Interscholastic, the Interscholastic Athletic Association's top 8 to qualify for the provincials. Cindy Flynn looks like their star. She's the daughter of Joe Flynn, formerly of St. Margaret's, and she was the one-time college roommate. Oh, he was Greg Morris's college roommate, and a good old Miramichi boy, if there ever was one. But for several years now, Flipper has been residing in Bathurst, and his daughter Cindy is in all likelihood the best female basketball player in the province. Grade 11 student, 43 points. Wow. She was with Bathurst, sorry, not James M. Hill. Tracy Ross, here's our Logieviller. She hit 24 for James M. Hill. Sharon Lorden for 14. Lisa Harris for 8. Tanya McDermott 7. Heather Bremner 5. Maria Svark 4. And Carolyn Lorden with 2 points. Right on, Raj. Good coverage. Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll go back to Gary Woods again.
We're going back to Gary again. He's on the old Henniger gets Duke of Edinburgh. I wonder what the Duke of Edinburgh prize is. Is it for like recreation volunteering? Wendy Henniger receives her Duke of Edinburgh bronze medal and plaque from Mayor John Crean and Gary Wood of Newcastle. Yeah, so if anybody out there sees me for a cup of coffee or whatever, let me know what the Duke of Edinburgh awards were for. And there's one on the back here.
Oh, sometimes there is.
Yeah, and that's another one.
Oh, that's
Tammy Henniger. She must have been related. Wendy and Tammy Henniger. So
Yeah.
Tammy, that must be her sister.
Yeah.
Same crew. She's also receiving one.
Okay, the next 2 pages are to deal with pictures.
Okay.
Pictures, yeah.
Right on.
Full page pictures.
Full page of pictures. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So this is just our newspaper sharing some beautiful pictures. Now everybody's phone has thousands of them on it. What did you have for breakfast? I might just take a picture of the bowl of cereal and put it on my Instagram and show everybody how great I put my strawberries on there or something like that. But back in the day, we had people taking photos, putting their time and effort into putting packages like this together. Look at this beautiful Miramichi contingent and some of those pictures. This says, "We want jobs, not welfare." Our MP, is that?
I'll just show them the pictures. Probably
Okay.
don't have to read them.
I just gotta. It's my chicken. There's one name on here, folks, and it says Anthony Ward. There's a picture of Anthony Ward. And Anthony, don't know if you're still around, still hanging out on the Miramichi or whatever, but wherever you are in your life, we hope that you are doing great.
Okay, another full page.
Another full page of photos. Look at these great photos, Raj. And Roger Como has this from, you know, look at how many years ago Roger was collecting all this stuff for. And so this was full page on the Miramichi leader. Same thing going on. There's no real caption of names, but what a great, look at there, great contingent of photos. We got some fish happening. There's things of all sorts taking place here. Looks like a balance beam shot. Right on. You know, I guarantee you that the parents of this child at this time did not want anybody to wake this kid up. They were able to go use the washroom for the first time in about 7 hours. Their kid was relaxed. Right on. There's a good ball shot. And some Miramichiers in 1986 taken through the lens of the Miramichi leader and showcased on a 16-inch wide full page.
I don't think, maybe say sometimes the police are on the job and this is what happens.
Okay,
Here.
okay,
And then it's not too much,
okay.
Don Adams, whatever.
This is a Newcastle, this is a police, it looks like there might have been a chase or something, I'm just speculating, but there was a police officer injured. I've been around the Miramichi now for 4 months or so following the passing of my dad. That's how we're doing this project. And you know what, Raj, when I am around, I see the police officers coming in, everybody, they're acknowledging the people. It's an underappreciated job. They deserve a lot of respect. Newcastle police officer Corporal Earl Campbell is in satisfactory condition in the Miramichi Hospital in Newcastle after being injured Sunday during a car chase. So right on. Look at that. It's a dangerous job. And just think, it was how many years ago, a few years ago, during all of these protests and stuff, we had a bunch of people thinking it was a good idea to have a campaign that was saying defund police. Just imagine what would happen to a society if that, we're already seeing it in certain cities in the States that actually took that policy into fruition, and it has become a disaster.
Okay.
Go figure.
So we got this article
Yeah.
and this one here.
Okay.
And,
Right on.
yeah.
Well, that for a great Newcastle A and B's take New Brunswick Junior semi-finals. Okay, here it is, folks. Look at that great photo right there. The Miramichi has a rich tradition of good baseball and softball. And what does that say? It says an unidentified Fredericton player slides into third base and is tagged out on a play by Jason Mullen of Newcastle DNN Pete's on Saturday. Fredericton won the game 9-6. Jason Mullen. There he is, folks. Somebody that knows Jason will let him know. And what do we got here? The senior hockey will return to Miramichi this winter. Executive members of the Miramichi Gagnon Packers held a press conference Monday to announce the return of the senior hockey team to Newcastle this winter. And we have Dale Hicks, the coach Bev Bond, and owner Edmund Gagnon. The Miramichi Gagnon Packers, I think they were in Shediac at the time. They went to the Miramichi, and it wasn't long after that they won the Canadian Championship, the Hardy Cup. Right on.
Good. So our artist, Bill Hogan, responds.
Okay, so following that, this is the artist that we opened up the show with. Roger is doing a good job of handing these over to me blind. Roger has this planned out. So there's Bill Hogan with his cartoon depiction of the return to Miramichi, the Miramichi Gagnaw Packers. It reads, "Welcome to the Miramichi. Gagnaw Packers have hockey, will travel." And look at there. I wonder whose skates those are right there. Could those very well be Larry McDonald's skates making the trip? Or Jamie Watling's, or Eddie Pinder, or Jean-Francois Boutin. You never know, folks. Was Butch Waters? He was on the Packers?
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Another Gary Woods.
Okay, Gary was busy. The mayor presents Vautour with a Duke of Edinburgh award. I have to find out what this Duke of Edinburgh award type of thing is. So there's Crean Wood with a guy named Teddy Vautour. And he received his award too. Right on. I'm sure it was an honor to. So Raj, we're at 49 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
I probably got about 7 or 8 minutes of music or prelim.
Okay, we gotta ask people.
So we can go another maybe 15 or so.
Yeah, we gotta ask people what animal would people think is the most ticklish?
The most ticklish animal, folks.
That's a bypass up there.
Okay. Okay, so look at this great photo from the Miramichi Agricultural Exhibition. This animal looks like it's getting tickled. Look at the smile on this little pig's face. There's nothing like a good old picture of a pig. They're just an interesting animal. It appears that this young smiling pig thoroughly enjoyed his week at the Miramichi exhibition. The truth of the matter, it was squealing up a fuss. It was squealing. When Jean-Paul Hashi picked him up for a picture, the piglet was one of several young animals featured at the baby burn. Well, right on. Great photo, Raj. That.
Sorry for a second. Okay, this is a car wash in Newcastle.
Okay. Right on.
Big,
Okay, so this is from 1986. The old quick and easy car wash opens up, folks, and it is featured in the local newspaper. There she be right there. And there's some ads that were taken out to accompany the photo. The Quick and Easy Car Wash in Douglastown will hold its grand opening on Saturday at 2 o'clock with Mayor Ron Kierstead cutting the official ribbon. The car wash has 4 bays open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and a 5th full-service bay open daily, 7 days a week. Owners of the business are Fernand Barreau of Nigawak and Robert Walsh of Ontario. Right on. The good old car wash. I would say, Raj, that I am not the world's greatest washer of cars.
Yeah, same here.
You know what I mean?
Okay, we got
And yeah, okay, what do we got?
Bowl for Millions. There.
Bowl for Millions. This is, I remember it well. There it is, folks. The Big Brothers, Big Sisters, the big fundraiser, Bowl for Millions. Who are these people in this photograph? We have Walter O'Toole. He was a big brother, and I think I know his son. A great young man. Mayor Mike Bowes of Chatham. Clifford Rutherford was a little brother. Mayor Joseph Wallace of Nelson Miramichi. Greg Grattan was a little brother, and Mayor John Crean of Newcastle. And as I mentioned to you before, Raj, I was a member of the Big Brothers twice in my life. And pardon me if I'm incorrect, but I think that's Mr. Jamie O'Toole's old man, Walter O'Toole, and I can see the resemblance, and what a great photo, and what a great thing to be doing, volunteering your service, mentoring young people, giving them a good experience on things that they may not be able to experience without a guy like the Big Brothers. Fire consumes the Miramichi Salmon Club, Raj. That does not sound like a very fun thing. Like, God, there's a lot of fires in the Miramichi. It seems like there's been a lot of things that have burnt down. I know nothing about this. The Miramichi Salmon Club. Where exactly was that?
All up in Doketown.
Up. Okay. Oh, okay. Landmark claimed by Blaze. Oh, Doketown. The Miramichi Salmon Club of Doketown is gone. It was built 56 years ago. So what's 86 minus the 56? You guys do the math on that. I can't do that right now. 11 people were staying at the club, but no one was injured. Okay. Miramichi Salmon Club. Too bad.
Okay, this is a summer thing.
Okay. Remember, ding, ding, ding. Are you
Yeah.
talking about the Dixie, the Dickie, what
Yeah.
was it called? The Dickie D?
Yeah.
Dickie D. There used to be people, and for those of you young people that don't remember the Dickie D, there was a bicycle kind of a bicycle contraption they would bike around with a great big freezer attached to
Yeah.
it, and it
Oh,
was
yeah.
ringing bells and selling ice cream. And who was a Dickie D operator? Well, anyway, I don't if that's an operator or okay. So ice cream, anybody? Yeah. Dickie D worker, Dickie D, Tracy McLeod of Nelson, is kept busy serving ice cream treats to youngsters during warm, sunny weather. And that right there, folks, is a great moment. I was in Vancouver, and we still have the ice cream trucks. I'm sure there's some here. And I saw a guy one time going around this park, and he was like, ding, ding, that whole ice cream song, which just drives you nuts. Anyway, I was standing there in the place I was living, and I saw this guy, and just before he pulled and stopped over, he took a big drag out of a cigarette, threw it out the window, blew the smoke out, then opened up the doors to welcome the kids. So I thought that was a great, funny
We
moment.
already dealt with the raft races, but I've come across another raft.
Okay, another raft here. This is one of the rafts in the Great Miramichi unofficial river raft race, and they had another one in '86. And this is from the Happy Hooper, folks. Another place that burnt down. The Hooper used to be a bar in Chatham, just right close to the whole main street, Water Street downtown. And this is one of the best in the raft race. The Hooper has a caboose. The caboose is still there. That was how you entered. The Hooper was a cool place. Like, it had a good, cool vibe to it. I liked it.
A little update here on the ball, but this guy should be recognized for golfing.
Okay, well, maybe we just focus on that.
Yeah.
Sobeys 82
Jack Solby, yeah.
wins in men's night play. So, okay, so Jack Sobey, local golfer, he shot an 82, and we'll honor him right now. The weekly Wednesday night men's play on August 20th was won by Jack Sobey as he hacked his way to a 9-over par 81. The guys would like to congratulate Jack on such a good game. Right on. Who else was there? Pat Flanagan, John McIver, Rocky Blackmore, Verl Tozer, Gary Bernard, Eddie Pinder, Jack Sobey, we mentioned, Bev Bond, Daryl Hare, Stuart McMillan, Brent Allison, and Brad Gilks. And right on. And you know what? We are going to talk about some Miramichi Valley softball, fast pitch softball, because I just looked at the batting leaders in August. This is the... This looks like almost the final standings. And so look at the stats, okay? That's local. That's showing you our local athletes, and it gives you, everybody was able to keep in touch. But who was leading the batting title that year in 1986? None other than Roger's old former neighbor and teammate, David Arabashaw. He had a .410 average, but Jamie Watling of Logieville was also very close behind at a .400 average. And who else was in there of note from Logieville? Blair LeBritton and Paul Robishaw. But David Robishaw goes down as one of the great softball players out of Logieville's tradition. He was a shortstop. He was a bigger style of a shortstop, cannon of an arm, left-handed hitter. Looked like he was going to be more of a power hitter if you looked at him, but he was probably, I would argue, Raj, more of a batting average kind of guy that hit line drives. He's a great guy, and it was a great ball player. Logieville's greatest shortstop, David Robishaw, led the league in hitting in 1986.
Okay, there's people who focus on winning.
Exhibition champions. Either that's your little Winnie up there, your little dog, or your party is starting to arrive.
Yeah.
Okay, exhibition champions. What do we got here? we have this great photo from 1986. And you know what, Rod? Your party is arriving. This is exciting. We got an eclipse coming. We got a YouTube show going.
Yeah.
Champion overall 4-H show person at the Miramichi Agricultural Exhibition was Mark McDonald of the Irish Town 4-H Club, while Jane Schenkels of Nappen 4-H Club won the Reserve Championship. And you know what? I've never ever been involved in anything about farming, agriculture, but these people, this is how they grew up. It is wonderful, salt of the earth, connected by their hands, knowing their animals, and I am kind of always jealous that I didn't have that experience.
So we had her a couple episodes ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Daughter of.
Yes, she was working with Mulrooney, I think.
Rod Leggett.
Yeah, so we have a Leggett gets promotion. This is Donna Leggett. Miss Donna Leggett, former legislative assistant to Member of Parliament Bud Jardine, is now the special assistant to the Minister of State for Tourism and Small Business, the Honourable Bernard Valcourt. That is arguably the longest title in the history of job titles. She is now, listen to this, the special assistant Atlantic to the Minister of State for Tourism and Small Business. That is in 1986, and she was the daughter of Ed and Rose Leggett of Chatham. So congratulations for a promotion, a smart cookie you must have been.
Okay, maybe we should turn this here.
Okay, McCarthy has the beef. Oh, right on. Where's the beef? Where's the beef? Well, I'll tell you where the beef is. McCarthy has it. And 13-year-old Carrie McCarthy was the lucky winner of a hip of beef in a ticket draw held by the Chatham Ringette Association. Above, left to right, are Gina Skid, secretary of the association, Carrie, and Ken Lloyd, manager of Chatham Sobeys store, who drew the winning ticket. And there it is, folks, right on. I know Carrie went on to be a yoga instructor, do some yoga and stuff like that, and I think she's still around.
Can't see the guy in the shade.
Right on.
So something happened there.
Okay. This photo from September 24th, 1986. This looks like looks like the Morrissey Bridge.
Oh yeah.
And a couple of dudes are out there standing on one of the concrete supports. And what does it say? Early morning dive. Divers of the RCMP Underwater Recovery Team got an early start Saturday on a series of practice dives near the Morrissey Bridge, Newcastle. This photo, taken at 7:30 a.m., shows a diver in the water assisted by 2 team members on a pier of the bridge. Right on. And I wonder if they found any balls in the water that were hit by Wally Doucette out of the Chatham Head Tigers. Anyway, the fence is going the other way, but if he fouled one back, they very well could have. But right on, some divers doing some practice dives in the old Miramichi River. Really cool.
Okay, this is the girl running sports program.
Her days are busy, and that's the way Cahoon likes it. Jocelyn Cahoon, folks. And there he is, Walter McCarthy. I don't know about the form on that. I bet you that hit the front of the rim there. It looks like it was going to be weak. Jocelyn Cahoon says she's always busy and there's always something to do, but she doesn't mind. She was the Cahoon is Chatham's recreation director, and her and Wally McCarthy had those positions. The evening was intended to allow residents to meet their new recreation directors. It's Chatham's assistant recreation director, Walter McCarthy, takes aim. So, he was the assistant, she was the director, and there's Walter McCarthy, and there she is running the rec program in Chatham. And if you're looking for this man's wedding photo, episode number 2 of Mirami-histor-chi will show you that. Hi ho and away, Roger. Look at this great photo. What is this going to be? I do get these blind. That's from the Miramichi Leader. This looks like almost like a sculpture. This looks like that's a really cool photo.
Yeah, it really does.
Jerry Berrio. Oh, that's Jerry Berrio of Douglas Field on his horse. Chief was one of the attractions at the Nelson Days Parade on Sunday. Berrio, the owner of DD Stables in Douglasfield, keeps Chief under control as they get set to go up a hill. I think Jerry's Brandy's father.
Oh yeah, I think so.
My sister hung up it there. What a great photo. It almost looks like it's sculpturesque. It looks like the background doesn't fit the foreground, but it's really cool. What a great photo.
Here's a prominent business in Newcastle.
Okay. Siddle's Jewelry, serving the Miramichi. They're still open, eh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got this watch. I actually got a link on this watch. This is my dad's old watch. I got it after he passed. This is serving Miramichi for over 38 years, and this is from 1986. There's a little ad, not a full page, but there's an ad for Siddle's Jewelry. How are we looking, Raj?
This is the last one now.
Well, yeah, we're coming.
Yeah, well, this is another prominent.
But are we gonna be doing? Is there enough to do like another part? Or
well, there's quite a few pages
okay,
there.
so maybe we end her right here.
Yeah.
Campbell.
No.
Okay.
The co-op.
The co-op. Okay, so here we go again. Miramichi Valley Co-op will soon be opening its doors to serve the people of the Doketown area. Okay, so there's the co-op. Anybody that's from the Miramichi that has driven to Fredericton will know exactly where this is, and I'm sure you've gone in there several times to get some refreshments on the way. You got kids squawking in the back. You get out and use the bathroom, go in and get some waters and some whatever. There's a full-page co-op coming to Doketown. Miramichi Valley Co-op, 100,000 families in Atlantic. Okay. But that's a full-page ad, Raj. The Rogers party's coming in. We are going through 1986. This man does not throw anything away. And, you know, right, the clothes on it, Raj, like I've mentioned this several times before, it's a bit of a theme.
Yep.
But I was at a little gathering the other night. It was very good to be connecting with a couple of old people, or people I haven't seen in a long time, some teachers, some people gathering. But one of the things I mentioned as we were doing this show was David Adams Richards' kind of one of his definitions of a Miramichier, one of his descriptions of a Miramichier. This is what David Adams Richards said about a former older fisherman that he used to learn from a little bit. He says, he was and always will be the embodiment of a Miramichier, proud, conscious of others, fearless within the bounds of physical environment, full of humor and yet somewhat shy. Old Uncle Raj, I think, exhibits all of those qualities. I'm still working on them, but there we are, Raj, Mirami-histor-chi. Your party's here.
Okay, we're getting ready for the eclipse.
Yeah, so I hope you guys all enjoy the eclipse, and we'll check in with you guys tomorrow. Take it easy.
Next episode, we'll be checking out on Peter and Joyce Davidson.
Okay, we got a wedding photo from Peter and Joyce Davidson, it looks like. Okay, there's our teaser. He knows how to do it, folks. See you later.